What's up? Welcome to Garage 419. Today, we're in Dearborn, Michigan at SVT's garage. Now these guys are going to show us how Mustang technology evolved into the supercar known as the Ford GT. Let's go inside. Now we are inside the SVT garage here, where they've got a whole bunch of Roush toys, a whole bunch of SVT toys, including two of my favorite Fords of all time. Now we got my old buddy Jamal Hameedi, Chief Engineer for SVT.
What's up, man?
Thanks for being on the show again, man.
Thanks,
good to see you. So, how did SVT get started, really?
I mean, SVT goes back to the late 80s, really, and kind of it was started as a little group that just kind of did special projects and kind of then blossomed into this, well, if you're going to do special projects, do special performance projects, and then started doing cars and more cars. And I mean, throughout our history, I think we've got 150,000 SVT products on the road today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was the 93 Cobra R the first SVT car?
Technically, no, but it was the first R program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then we've got the 95 Cobra R here. Now, this car is near and dear to my heart because my first sports car was a replica I built of one of these.
You built a clone.
I built a clone. I did. I built a clone, okay? I was 16, but I've never actually seen a real one, never. And here we are. So tell me what makes this 95 Cobra an R?
I mean, it's basically got the whole R formula, which is a lot of content delete, you know, AC, radio, backseat, insulation delete, all the stuff that racers care nothing about.
Right.
Big wheels, tires.
What about under here?
And what's cool about this one is that this is the push rod's last stand in the Mustang world. This is a 351, and you know, pushing out well over 250 horsepower. Which
it actually doesn't sound like much today.
I know, it's crazy.
I know. In 95, it ran good though. I mean, in 95, this was a fast car.
And it was kind of one of the first of its, you know, hardcore track cars.
Yeah. And how many of these did they make, you know?
I think this one, they probably made about 250 of.
Okay. It's not very limited production, which, I mean, I've seen almost every car there is to see out there. I mean, Veyrons and McLaren F1s. I have never ever seen this car.
Right.
And actually, I've never seen this car either. Now, this car is one of the most hardcore Mustangs ever made, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 2000 Cobra R. Now, give me some numbers on this guy right here.
I mean, this is kind of taking this, and just visually you can see there's a huge, you know, big step forward.
Right. Well, you've got the giant front splitter,
right?
Which may be the most obnoxious styling touch in the history of Ford. Am I right?
But works brutally.
Yeah.
That thing couldn't even be installed at the plant. They had to put it in the seat.
Oh, they just stuff it in the back seat and deliver like that. Well, I mean, I've never seen one before, but I've heard that most people actually take that off to drive it on the street.
Right.
Like it's like undrivable with that on.
You're gonna drag that everywhere.
And I don't even want to know how much it costs to replace one of those things, if you could find the part even.
Yeah.
So with this car, it's 385 horsepower, right?
It's a 5.4 liter 4-valve.
Okay.
It's the Cobra R head, which you know, kind of found its way. That cylinder head went to the Ford GT.
Okay.
Went to the Shelby GT 500 and ended up in that one. So that's kind of the. So
all those cars' cylinder heads can trace their roots right here.
Right.
And how does it perform?
I mean, in the day, it was the handling Mustang of all time, and even today, the numbers that thing turned in, a G and like a 71 mile per hour slalom.
Oh, that's pretty good for a Mustang. That's impressive. Right. Yeah. And I love the seats. The Recaro seats I just sat in it. They're super comfy.
You know, it's got the holes for the harnesses and everything.
And you can really never go wrong with side pipes.
Yeah.
And what'd they build? Like 300 of these, I think?
300
of those,
yeah.
Good guess. Nice. And now, well, it's hard to ignore the Ford GT on the wall. Tell me, how do you end up with a Ford GT on the wall?
Well, the whole story behind that is that when we were closing the Ford GT facility down, there was a car that was on top of the building.
Okay.
And they were just, we had all kinds of owners saying, hey, I'll buy that, paying ridiculous amounts
Was it a running, driving car, or just kind of a shell?
The background behind that is it was one of the old workhorse mules.
Okay.
Probably the 5th workhorse mule that we built. It went over to Germany, got totaled in a testing accident.
I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I didn't break anything.
And came back in a crate in a ball. And so we said, instead of just putting it into the trash dumpster,
yeah, make it art.
Yeah, and then so we put a shell on it, and it's got some like a workhorse level frame in there.
Oh yeah, well you can actually kind of tell there's subtle differences, but you can tell it's a prototype. Right. The vents on the clamshell are unequal length and don't have the grates in them. Right. And if you look at the sides, you can see there's no brakes in the car, right. and there's like a lever for a door handle. But I mean, it's actually a really nice color. I don't think I've ever seen one on the street in yellow.
They're rare.
Sure. The yellow pack option is rare. So let's go inside, and you said you may have some cool other things to show us inside. Let's do that, all right?
Okay, excellent.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
What are we looking at here?
This is 550 horsepower worth of aluminum that's sitting in the back of every Ford GT. Okay. It's pretty impressive and substantial powertrain.
It is. It's not a small engine.
No.
And it actually, when it's sitting in the car, it looks a lot smaller than it is. Probably, right. I mean, you don't see the tranny and that kind of stuff. Right. But was this for car shows? Is that what the point of this?
Yeah, it was a model that we developed to show, the screw blower and the new cylinder heads and the new aluminum engine block and then the Ricardo 6-speed manual. When you look at this engine, you get an insight on why people can, slap turbos on this thing, push 1,000 horsepower, and don't have to delve into the internals. Yeah.
Well, Jason Hefner, who is known for doing the twin turbo kits on these things, basically said that he tried a bunch of different combinations of pistons and rods and cranks, and that he couldn't find one that was better than stock for this engine. He said the bottom end is just bulletproof on it.
That makes us feel really good.
Well, it should. It's a good engine. I've never heard of anybody blowing one.
Yeah.
Never.
This is one of the key pride points of SVT right here.
Now, when I first walked into your office here, this thing caught my eye, immediately. What are we looking at?
This is the actual 45% scale rolling ground planed tunnel model for the Ford GT that we used to develop all the sealed underfloor aero on.
Yeah, because that car is a totally flat undercarriage, right?
Fully sealed floor, fully functional diffuser, splitter. And we also did a lot of upper body development. You can see the little pieces of clay hanging off of it. And this thing ran a lot of hours out at the Swift wind tunnel in California.
Now, why, you don't have to tell me why, because I think it's cool, but why is the whole thing carbon fiber?
It's, one, it's lightweight, so it puts the least amount of wear and tear on the belt. It goes pretty fast, and with
wait, the belt meaning do the wheels actually it's like a treadmill it sits on? Kind of? Oh, okay. I didn't know they actually.
And this thing's got a fully adjustable suspension, so you can do ride height simulations.
Oh, cool. And I noticed that the tires are carbon fiber too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's like the car guys. A little carbon fiber's good.
A lot of carbon fiber's better. Right. Well, someone needs to come out with a carbon fiber tire, I think. That is seriously like the coolest thing ever. Now, over in the sketchy corner over here behind the cubicles, we've got a couple of engines here on stands. Tell me, this one is the coolest one, probably.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
It's the biggest. Well, that's how you know it's the coolest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Size does matter. So, what are we looking at here?
This is a V12 all aluminum. It's engine off of a concept car called a GT90.
I remember that concept car.
It was
white,
sweet.
Yeah.
With the full glass cockpit and everything.
Was this the display version of that engine, or was this actually the one in the car?
No, this is a display version.
Okay.
That's why it's all nice and painted up and everything. And
what year was that car?
oh, I want to say
96, 97, something like that.
Mid to late 90s.
Yeah. Now, Now this was Ford's first 12-cylinder, right?
Right. This was kind of the project that we worked on with Aston Martin.
Right. So did this become the Vanquish 12?
Yeah. This is basically the Vanquish cylinder heads and engine block.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it started in the Indigo, right? It was the Indigo, and then the GT90, and then the Vanquish.
I think it went GT90. Then
then the Indigo. Okay.
Yeah.
My 90s are blurred. It happens. So what did this? Do you know what kind of power this thing made? Same as the Vanquish?
Like 700, and
wow.
because this was quad turbos.
Oh, well that'll make a difference.
All the manifoldings off of this, but yeah,
actually, wait, someone just grabbed one. It's over here. Wait, hold on. It's sitting right here. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah. I found it. That's a nice Garrett turbo right there. So you smash 4 of these on this motor,
right? And
you are gonna throw down some power, for sure. What's it labeled as? GT90 engine. Yep, that's the right one.
Yep.
That's good stuff right there. I like it. All right, so then we got, this appears to be a Cobra 4 valve, right?
Yep, this is a 464 valve, normally aspirated. You see the big twin chamber intake.
Yeah.
With communication valve.
What's a communication valve?
Basically valves that'll flip between short intake and long intake.
Oh, really? I didn't know the 4 valve had that kind of capability.
Well, it's not. It's all in the intake manifold.
Oh.
It's separate to the 4 valve.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like it. And then the last one over here, we got the SVT Contour.
Yeah, this is the 2.5 liter V6 4 valve from the SVT Contour.
You know what it really needs? This. Right here.
Yeah, that looks like it might package pretty good.
Yeah, it's already it's set up for it right now. I remember the SVT Contour, man. This thing was badass when it came out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was so. When that car came out, I was like, 200 horsepower, 5-speed. Like, yes, like they're still pretty cool. There's they have
see
a
them
total
on the road every once in a while. And they're
total cult following in those things, man.
Yeah.
Well, Jamal, thanks so much for this SVT tour, man. I love it. I'm gonna go. Take your Cobra R back out, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna borrow this, and I'll be back when they are 1.
We're gonna.
All right. Peace.